let's start. You guys should also be getting your guys' groups in your guys' email. Have any of you guys gotten the emails of your groups? I feel like some of you guys should have it. No, you guys should have it in the next hour. Got it. A lot of okay, perfect. So what's up, guys? Welcome to day 2. So kind of like how I explained yesterday. Yesterday was kind of just like an introduction because I wanted you guys to properly understand market structure, right? So we all know how to identify a higher high, a higher low, lower high, a lower low. We know how to identify these market structure points, right? Very simple, right? Very easy. But today, I'm going to teach you guys how to identify where you got your group email. Perfect. Yeah, if you guys don't have your buddies or your partners yet, you will have within the hour. I have the guys working on that right now. So yeah, you guys should get it. You guys have each other's emails. For those of you guys that do have it, email each other, make a Discord chat, text message chat, whatever you guys want. Okay, so this class is going to be very interesting because we now understand how to do market structure, right? So let's just start off with that first. Obviously, let's just have a little refresh. So what would this point right here be? Obviously, this is the monthly time frame. This is the weekly time frame. This is the daily, and this is the 4 hour. So based off of what you are seeing in here, what would this point right here be? Okay. Higher high. Awesome. What would this point right here be? Awesome. Higher low. Okay. So what would this point right here be? This one? Same thing. Easy. Higher high. What would this point right here be? Haha, got some of you guys already. Nothing. This, exactly, yeah, exactly, nothing. This would be the higher low. The higher low is the last point that broke out of the points, okay? So this would be the higher low. And we're gonna go over here to the daily. What would be the higher high? Let's just keep it going. This would be the higher low. And then let's just keep it going to here. We know this is the higher low. And we know this is, we know this is the higher high, right? So this is where, based off of yesterday's video alone, first thing we would do when we would come here, we'd be like, okay, confluences to go long, right? So let's fix this. Spelled this so wrong. Siri can't even fix it. Spelled this so wrong again. Confluences to go long, 1, right? So we have, let's not put the monthly. We're just going to keep it to how we were yesterday. Actually, let's put the monthly for this example, right? So monthly, bullish. We have weekly, bullish, daily, bullish, 4 hour bullish, right? So technically this trade right here would be a 40%, or let's just keep it 30% based off of yesterday. I'm going to put the monthly because it's going to be very important in a little bit, right? So based off of what I taught you guys yesterday, this is a trade to buy, right? Because you're obviously all time frames in sync. Everything means go, green light, go up, but not necessarily. If you guys notice, what I'm going to teach you guys today is, where are we in this trend? Are we at the ending of this trend? Are we in the middle? Are we about to go bearish on all these time frames? Like, where are we, and how do we know how to identify that, right? So first things first, before we get into that, we need to know everything that trends up within these pullback legs right here, within these legs. In order for this to have a pullback, something has to go bearish. Something has to create lower lows and lower highs in order for this leg to have the retracement into this area of interest here, to then have the next push to the upside. You guys are with me with that, right? You guys understand that, comprehend that? Very simple concept, right? But there's also times where some of these uptrends just completely run out, and then it has all of these bearish moves, and then it just now shifts to the downside, and now you're just completely in a bearish market, right? But what we're going to do today is we're going to learn if we are in the end of this move based off of the time frame, based off of this area of interest, based off of these multiple different variables, right? So coming back into this point here, as you can tell on the monthly time frame, as you see here, we have created a higher high, right? When you're in a bullish market, you have higher highs and higher low. The only way you are looking to buy is if you are at a higher low. You guys understand that, right? You can't buy at the highest point. That just makes no sense. That's like going to Bitcoin right now. Well, not right now. I was like going to Bitcoin when it was at 60K and buying it there. You're not trying to be that guy. You want to wait for the retracement to buy. It's the same thing as Forex. You need to buy at a higher low. The higher low is usually created at the previous structure point or areas of interest, support and resistance. Those are things that we're going to get into the following weeks and how to properly identify them. But right now, I need you guys to understand if you're looking to buy, you need to buy at a higher low. Now, we don't know if this is going to be a higher low. This is a potential higher low. Why potential? Because we're rejecting structure point, we have EMA, we have all of these different reasons why this has more probabilities of going up from here than going from down, right? It's not a higher low until obviously it doesn't break above the higher high. But in order for this to have its retracement back, right? Because on our trading plan, rule number 2 that we would write down here, it's going to be, where are we buying or where are we selling? Are we buying at a weekly support or are we selling at a weekly support? Are we buying at a monthly support? Or are we selling at a weekly resistance? So to get a little bit sidetracked, if you were to go to USD CAD, we have a 20% as of right now because the 4 hours bearish. By the way, if you guys go watch yesterday's recording, this scenario happened exactly as yesterday's scenario. You guys remember yesterday how I put 2 different possibilities. This is like this. Obviously, this is the lower high, and then this is the lower low. I said we could do 2 things. We can come up here, break above this, come back, or we can make a new lower low. Then this would move to the lower low, and then this would move as the lower high. And then all we would have to do is wait for this and then come back. So it's exactly what's happened so far. Kind of standard, you know, because you're just telling the market what to do. Now you got to tell the market what to do again. So now in order for me to buy this, I love the rejection from the daily EMA, but I need this 1 for the 4 hour to go bullish, and 2, I need it for it to be above 3,900. So this is why I mark up this right here. And then I'm getting a little sidetracked here. Just doing this. So breaking 4 hour lower high. So the moment a body candlestick closes above, now I know we are bullish on the 4 hour. This is where I'll go down to the 1 hour. We then wait for the retracement, retest of the 1 hour EMA, and then retest of 30,000 by same thing as when we go bearish. We break under the structure point, come back, retest the EMA, whatever, right? That's besides the point. But to the point that I'm making is that after we've identified all of these confluence, all of these time frames in sync, number 2 would be, where are we? What is going on? Where are we buying? We're buying at a weekly resistance level being used as support, right? So this is where we go here, weekly. So we know that we are in the retracement of the move. If we were to go back to the GJ that I had drawn out, we were like this. Shit, it's the next candle. We're like this. We're at a higher high where we would need the retracement, right? You guys are with me so far? You guys are seeing everything? So we're on GJ, we're right here. We are expecting this. So let me go back to GJ. Well, GJ, my drawing here. So our confluence is right now to go long are absolutely none. Like, just because we have all of these time frames in sync, that means absolutely nothing, because you're not buying at any area of interest on the weekly or the daily, right? So I'm going to say this now just to like get it advanced for next week's. I'm only looking to buy at a weekly or daily area of interest. How do you identify these areas of interest? We'll get into them next week. But number 2 would be that. But in order for you to get number 2, you need to know where you are in the move. As you can tell, right now on the move, we are at a higher high. We're at a higher high on the monthly. We are at a higher high on the weekly. We are on a higher high on the daily and a higher high on the 4-hour. Like, we are not buying anytime soon because we're at the highest point that we are on every time frame. In order for us to buy, we need a higher low. This is another super important key. You buy at a higher low, or also known a potential higher low, which is this point right here. You can't buy at the highest point, because let's say you were to buy right here, you can place your stop loss, right? This is just for example purposes. This is not how I do it. But let's say you were to buy from this point right here. You can place your stop loss under this right here. 1 second, guys. You can place your stop loss under the structure point, take profit, whatever. Versus if you're buying, let me move this over here. Versus if you're buying here, now you have so much more room for price to come back. So let's say you buy at the higher high and you do this. This just came back to create a higher low, retest previous resistance as support. Now you just got stopped out for no reason, when you all had to do was wait for the higher low. Do you guys get this simple example? Just want to get you guys in the feel of like why we need a higher low, right? Same thing versus a lower high. Just going to flip the chart, right? Yeah, there's this tool right here where you literally just flip it. Chart goes from up to down, down to up. So if you're on a downtrend, you can't sell at the lowest point, because all this has to do right now is create a retracement, and then you just get stopped out, because you need to wait for this retracement in order for you to get into the trade. 1, so you have all of the confluences, and 2, so you have the proper stop loss placement, right? So going back over here to the chart, we right now are at a higher high. We cannot buy because there is no higher lows. We need to buy at a higher low, right? So for this case, we're going to use the monthly, but ideally I usually do this only for the weekly. But ideally it's supposed to be weekly, daily, 4-hour, but I'm going to show you guys how to get an A+ setup. So we're going to do it with the monthly. So right now that we are at a higher high, we can't buy at a higher high on the monthly. It just can't happen, because the monthly can only keep going so much. The monthly needs to have a retracement. So we need to buy at our area of interest, which is the previous structure point. So for number 2, we would put need retest of monthly area of interest to buy, right? So until price doesn't come into this point right here, until it does not come in and retest this resistance as support, we cannot buy. You guys understand that, right? You guys are with me so far? Is it confusing? Drop a comment. Let me know. I get it. It's clear. Simple. Can you repeat it? Okay, so we are looking to buy at a support level. Right now, we are not at a support level. We're probably reaching a resistance. Like if I were to draw a horizontal line right here and I were to look left, there's probably resistance to the left. Obviously in this example, there's none, because this is a line chart. This is not candles, but we can't buy at a resistance. We need to buy at a support level that is used as resistance in the past, and it is also a higher low, right? Does that make it better? What does the 30% mean? Okay, the 30% is the time frames that are in sync, the value it has toward each of them. Resistance, yes. Okay, so for this example, we're using the monthly, but it goes the same thing for the weekly or daily, but it's gonna get very clear shortly, right? So in order for us to go long, we need this pullback, right? So I'm gonna go back to USD CAD so you guys get an understanding. As you guys can tell, this is the pullback we are expecting to the level of resistance to be used as support to potentially go up. Let me use it with an example that has already happened so it can be a little bit more clear. I'm just trying to find something as clear as I possibly can. So let's say this is the higher high. This is the higher high. Let me make it blue. We are waiting for this retracement to the level of interest to then have the next buy. You guys see it there a little bit clear with the candlesticks, right? I feel like the best example right now would literally be this one. So we're waiting for this pullback. So let's come back here. We're waiting for this pullback. You guys are with me so far? Good, simple. It's about to start getting tricky. So I want you guys to get it. All right, good. All right, perfect. But, big buts, humongous but. In order for this to create a higher low, again, everything in between these two structure points, the monthly remains bullish. In order for this to create this higher low, to then have the next higher high, all of these other time frames need to go bearish, right? All right, let me explain what happens first. So we have just reached a level of resistance. First of all, before I get there, we're waiting for a pullback to this area of interest on the monthly. This is how it looks on the monthly. If you were to zoom in on the weekly, this is how it looks on the weekly. This is the same exact area of interest, the same exact structure point right here. It's the same exact structure point right here. Just you're looking at it now on the weekly, so it'll be a little bit more zoomed in. This exact same structure point. This is the resistance on the daily, and this is on the 4 hour, right? You guys are seeing how this box gets closer and closer every single time, the more down you go on the time frames, right? You guys know exactly what this box is. You guys get how it goes from here to all of these points. So our end goal is to come here to then buy the swing trade. You guys see that now, right? How this red line is this one. How this red line is this one. And how this red line is this one. You guys are seeing it, right? Just every single time frame it's getting in. My boy Carlos just looks like he just figured out fire. All right, you guys are with me? I could say it again. Like, trust me, I want to go slow because once we get this out of the way, everything else is just super easy. I just want you guys, I want you guys to visualize what each cube is and like what each line is. Like, I want to make sure. Trust me, ask away. Don't be shy. Questions are directly to me. There's no wrong questions. So very clear. I got it. Sounds good. A repeat. All right, perfect. Okay. So currently right now, just move this right here. Move this. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. All right. So as of right now, we are focused on this right here. We're currently bullish. We are at a higher, bro, compared to the first boot camp. That was explained phenomenal. Yeah, I know, bro. I could tell. Like I already said it, bro. On the first boot camp, I went crazy with this shit, bro. This took me like 3 weeks. All right, look. So we are bullish on the monthly time frame, right? We're bullish on the weekly time frame. We're bullish on the daily. We're bullish on the 4 hour. These are all different time frames, right? But in order for us to buy, we need a higher low. We need price to come back and then give us this higher low to then have the next potential higher high, right? But as of right now, there's no higher low. So we need this to come back and create a higher low. Where is the higher low going to come and do it? At the previous area of interest. So we need this to create a higher low at the previous area of interest, right? You guys are with me so far on that? Everything makes sense? Perfect. Okay. This zone right here that we're looking to buy is the monthly area of interest. This is how it looks on the weekly. This is how it looks on the daily. And this is how it looks on the 4 hour. Let me go over to, are you checking for the higher low? Yes, we'll get to that now. So I'm going to show you guys what it kind of looks like, right? So as of right now, that blue box that you guys saw, it's this exact blue box right here. So this is what it looks like on the weekly. This is what it looks like on the daily. If you can tell on the weekly, there's literally just 2 taps. If we go down to the daily, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 taps. If we go back over here real quick, so you guys get an understanding, on the weekly, 1, 2 taps. On the daily, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps. You see how that zone gets respected the lower we go down on the time frames. So then obviously when we go down to the 4-hour time frame, it's just 25,000 times more, but all we're focused on is this structure move right here, right? You guys are with me? You guys are, is it getting better? Gloria, is it better? Is it cold where you are? Better? Okay. Simple and clear. Isn't it breaking structure? Yes, Jonathan. Yes, we're going to get there shortly. Yes. Cool. All right, cool. All right, let's go back to the charts. Easy? Easy now. Trust me, this is easy now. Before, this was not easy. All right, so we all understand what this is right here. This is where we're looking to buy. We're looking to buy at this area of interest. This is the area of interest. This is the area of interest, right? But in order for us to buy here, we need to have this retracement on the weekly, this retracement on the daily, and then this retracement on the 4-hour, right? You all understand that? Now we understand what this red line to where we need it. You guys are with me so far? Okay, let's see. Because now, trust me, it hasn't gotten tricky yet. Now it's about to start getting tricky. Okay. Let's take this off. Let's take this off. All right, so as of right now, we have every single time frame bullish. And to the eyes of somebody in yesterday's class, they would have been like, all right, that's all I needed. Let's go fucking buy everything that's bullish. But that is so wrong. Like, you are literally at the end of the move, my friend. Like, you are, well, explaining it even better than Bootcamp 3, yeah. So you're literally at the end of the move, my friend. Like, you are not going to buy for much longer because everything's about to go bearish before we go long again. So what the hell do I mean by that? So we have just reached at this higher high. So this is what we are waiting for. But this higher high on the monthly is a resistance level. So let's mark it up as a, let's mark it up as a red arrow. So we know it's a resistance, right? So this is the resistance right here. This is how it looks here. This is how it looks here. And this is how it looks here. So now we understand where we are. We have just hit a resistance on all time frames. We're at a higher high and we have hit resistance. We all get that, right? Do I have to, do you guys want me to say it again? Do we understand that we've all hit a resistance? The higher high has hit a resistance. Okay, cool. Yes, perfect. So now, in order for this to have a retracement, we need to reject the resistance and come back to the resistance being used as support. The first time frame that's going to go bearish, the market is literally going to tell you. I'm not even going to tell you what time frame goes bearish first. You guys are literally going to tell me, right? So we hit this resistance. The first thing we do is we're going to get a rejection on the 4-hour. There you go. My boy got it. So the 4-hour is going to have a rejection, probably coming into this area, creating this. Maybe we'll create something like this. We go out to the daily time frame. The daily doesn't even feel it. It's going to look like a potential higher low to have the next higher high, but this is just where we are right now. And then the weekly, you just didn't even make any notice. It's just catching a vibe, right? It's just chilling. All right, let's put this like this, right? Comes the next 4-hour move, and then what happens with the 4-hour? Boom. The 4-hour, what happens now to the 4-hour? Perfect. Okay, exactly. Break of structure. We've broken out of this move. So now the 4-hour has gone bearish. So this is where we put here, lower low. And then where does the lower high? Does the lower high go to 1, 2, or 3? Okay. 3. Okay, perfect. So this is lower high. So now we no longer have the 4-hour bullish and we have the 4-hour bearish, because the 4-hour is going to be the first time frame to go bearish when comparing all of these. The structure points are so much further away because this 4-hour move right here is somewhere in here, very tiny, along with the bearish move. And this 4-hour move in the weekly is just like a little like tiny move in here. You guys are seeing how we're getting into detail with everything? All right, perfect. Yes, awesome. Okay, so now that we understand that the 4-hour has gone bearish, this has now created a lower low. This is probably where on the daily, we would have had a little minor retracement here. This is little retracement. On the daily, it probably looks like nothing. And now we've probably approached the higher low point from here, right? So, or let's call it we've body closed under this, making the 4-hour now the daily bearish. So now both of these time frames are bearish. Let's put here bearish. So now this is just no longer instant. It's a 10% trade, right? So this is your first trade where you're just completely boom. Now the weekly is going to have a little deeper move, right? So this is where we know where we are. As of right now, we are technically right around here. We're about 25 to 30% on our way to our area where we're trying to buy. We need price to come into here in order so we buy. You guys are seeing the vision with me? You guys are seeing how we're on our way to our area of interest. You guys are seeing it? But we know where we are. We're 25% on the way there, right? Bro, I'm telling you, once we take this to the charts, you guys are about to trip out. Like I've gotten so good at explaining this. Okay, so wait, Ricky's laughing. Okay, so now we understand that the 4-hour, the daily are bearish, the weekly is just having a move, monthly, you can't even tell, right? So now this is where the 4-hour will do its thing, create now a lower low, whatever. Remember, the 4-hour is moving a lot more than the other one, right? So let's say it does this. Now we have a lower low here. We'll have a lower high here. Now this daily has now had extensive lower low. So now we understand that this is the lower low, whatever. Now we understand here. Watch, but you guys are about to trip out. All right, so now we have lower high here, cool. But what does the daily need now in order to go bearish? The daily needs now a lower high. You need a lower high to go down, right? Like, you guys get that, right? You guys get how we need this retracement to go down? Like it needs to fluctuate. Yes? Okay, perfect. So in order for this to have its lower high in here to then go down, the 4-hour is going to now go bullish because it now needs to create that retracement. Within that retracement, this is where the 4-hour goes bullish to have the daily retracement. So this is where the 4-hour goes bullish. And then this is where a lot of people can get confused because they'll be like, all right, bet we have 4-hour bullish. We'll have the 4-hour bullish, daily bearish, weekly bullish. Oh shit, I fucked this up. This is bearish, right? So now you say, all right, we have 3 time frames in sync, 30%. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's buy it. No, now you guys are confused where we are. Exactly. You're not buying at the area of interest. You're in the middle of the move. Right now, you're just having the pullback into this area over here. So as of right now, and I'm just going to trip you guys out because you guys are about to see it right now. On the weekly, you can just see it's one candlestick. We go down to the daily. You can see the daily went from creating little double top to then bearish. And then you see how the 4-hour went from bullish structure to then bearish structure to come into the area of interest, right? So literally where we are right now on that chart is like somewhere within here. We're like 25% on our way to our area of interest, right? I don't want to confuse you guys too much. I just want to set that quick example. You guys see how we are there within this move, right? You guys are seeing it? Is it clear? Okay. Perfect. So this is where the 4-hour goes bullish in order for the daily to have the lower high. This is where on the weekly, we've maybe created a wick. We need some type of wick fill. One more time. Okay. So in order for the daily to have the lower high, this time frame needs to give it the pullback. Like if I were to zoom in extremely in here, right? This is the bearish move on the 4 hour. The lower low, this has to create the higher high, breaking above this structure point to create the pullback. All I'm doing, instead of zooming in like this, I'm just throwing it here next to on the breakdown. So this is literally this move, this pullback right here. I mean, this push. And then this pullback right here is this push right here. You guys are seeing that? Clear? All right, fire. Yes, makes sense. Okay, perfect. Like I just wanted to, all I want is to make sense. You guys aren't supposed to learn how to trade with just this. Like, again, right now I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just teaching you guys how to understand how to read the markets, how to know where they are. Like, I haven't taught you guys anything. I'm just teaching you guys how to properly read it, right? Because nobody really knows how to like read the markets. Right now we're just learning exactly like the proper real like foundation of trading. Like, you need to get on a chart and be able to know where you are. What I'm teaching you guys right now is how to properly identify where the fuck are we, right? So yeah, this is crazy, bro. Yeah, it's insane. So now on the daily, we've had this lower high, whatever. The 4 hours gone bullish. The weekly doesn't feel nothing because we're still so far. Like, this higher low on the weekly is probably over here on the daily, right? Let me show you guys a quick example of this just so you guys get an understanding. I could go back to USD CAD. This is obviously the higher low, right? On the weekly time frame. This is the higher low. And then this would be the higher high, right? We all agree with this? We all understand this? All right. But when I go down to the daily, notice where that higher low is. That higher low is so far away from the actual higher low on the daily. You see how it's so much further? In order for the weekly to go bearish, you got to break through all of this. But the daily goes bearish, but the weekly still bullish. Now, you can break all of these daily structure points and you're still bullish on the weekly because we're still above this point. So when I take it back to the GJ, you guys notice how this point right here can be all the way down here. You guys are seeing that, right? Is it clear with that example? Yep. All right, cool. Let's keep it going. So now that we understand that the 4 hour has gone bullish, the daily is bearish. Now the daily has rejected its area of interest. Let's just put here for this example's purposes. Whatever, we found an area of resistance, support, resistance. Now the daily is going to create its new lower low. So this is where the 4 hour goes back to being bearish. So the 4 hour here is going to go back to bearish, creating a new lower low. So this is where we identify this lower low, and then this is the lower high. This is the lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So you guys are seeing how this right now is the lowest point. This right now is the point where we are. And on the weekly time frame, we're probably somewhere around here. So you guys are seeing how every point where we are right now, right? You guys see it? You guys are visualizing it? Is it clear? You guys understand how close we are now to our area of interest where we're trying to buy, right? We're obviously trying to buy at this area, trying to buy at this area, at this area. Clear? Is Ricky on here? Ricky, how am I doing, man? Am I doing good? I got some pressure on me. I came a little late. Tony, you could catch up after the recording for sure. So you're updating your charts every morning, doing great, fire. As simple as it gets. Okay. Yeah, I'm updating my charts every day. Yes. Yes. Okay. So now the weekly is potentially creating now a higher low. Again, we're pulling up to now a level of resistance that can be used as support. So now the weekly is going to have some rejection from this point. So the weekly is going to create a structure move in here, right? That structure move is going to do first things first. 4 hour is going to go bullish. 4 hours going to go up, going to start retracing. So the weekly has that pullback or has that structure move, right? You guys are with me so far? You guys are seeing that? So now we know within the move where we are, like exactly what the hell we're doing, right? We're still on our way to our area of interest. Just these are the things that have to happen on our way there, right? So this is where the daily can potentially, let's just go bullish for this example. Ideally, this is supposed to be a little bit lower. And then it goes bullish just for a second. So this goes up. So now the daily is bullish. So same exact thing. A lot of people can get confused at these levels and be like, oh, all right, cool. Now now we have bullish. Everything is bullish again. If you notice, we have monthly's bullish, weekly's bullish because we still haven't broken under the structure point. The daily is bullish again. The 4 hours bullish. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, we're good to buy. But no, like we are still not at the area of interest. We're not at the area where we're looking to buy. You definitely could go. I'm definitely more patient. Yeah. I'm very patient with explaining. I like taking my time. I want you guys to get it. Because the last thing I want to do is we get on tomorrow and you guys still be stuck on today. You get me? My goal is to get this to you guys as most efficiently as possible. Exactly. We haven't reached the support to buy yet. Like when you go here to write down number 2, you still don't have number 2. So this is what I told you guys. When we build this out completely, all of your questions, this little box thing is going to answer it for you. Why are you buying? Are you at a weekly or monthly or daily area of interest? No. All right, keep it going. Next pair. Like all of those questions and concerns you have, this thing is literally going to answer for you. And it's free. You know, TradingView gives it to you for free or not. You get a freaking notepad and you just write it down. You know what I mean? Like it's very simple, right? So as of right now, we are still not at the area of interest to buy. So we literally cannot do nothing. So this is where everybody gets confused because now we have all of the time frames are bullish again. Daily's bullish. Everybody's like about to go full margin. Little do they know, they're about to blow their account, right? So this is where the weekly now decides to reject this area and then create a lower low, right? So we create a lower low. Oh shit, this is supposed to be blue. Right? So this is where the weekly does a lower low. The first time frame to go bearish, as you guys know, is the 4 hour. The 4 hour is going to now create a lower low. This is where we go bearish on the 4 hour. So let me just kind of organize everything again. So we keep it going, right? So then here we have lower low. Then here we have lower high. Notice how I'm doing these lines, bro. Trust me, these lines are gonna make or break it for you. Like this is literally gonna make or break your trading because it's literally telling you where you are, right? And on the daily, we did something like this, and then boom, lower low. So now, and all of this can happen within a week. This can happen within days. Like this should happen super fast, right? So now we have 3 time frames in sync, right? Because now we have weekly bearish, we have daily bearish. I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep tripping you guys out. Bearish, and now the 4 hours bearish. So if you would have just gotten only yesterday's class, you'd be like, yeah, all time frames are sync, we're selling. But little do you know, you're selling right into the place where we're looking to buy, bro. Like, you get what I mean? Like, this is not enough. This is just your foundation. So you could identify all of these time frame as bearish, but now comes it's literally only 30%. Exactly. My boy said it perfect. It's only 30%. Now coming the next step. So where are we? Where are you selling into, bro? Bro, you're like jumping into a 2-foot pool. Like you're not, you're fucked. You gotta look at the bigger picture and what's going on. So this is where we'll identify where we are. So we're at a lower low. You guys are seeing the importance of not only having this. You guys see how like yesterday's class, it just makes it like, oh wow, like that was literally nothing, right? You guys are seeing like how important that is. Like yesterday's class was just to understand how to read market structure, right? Lower high. Okay. You guys are with me so far? Let me get some yeses. Let me get some confirmations. It's adding up for sure. Again, if I'm going too fast, let me know. What percentage is the area of interest? Amazing question. We'll get to that shortly. Don't worry. But amazing question. I like that type. I like those type of questions when you guys are advanced, because that means you guys are already getting it. You guys are like, all right, what's next? What's next? Yes, everything's clear. But this is fire. So we only look to buy or sell at a daily or weekly area of interest. Correct. All right, perfect. So now that we are approaching our area of interest, let's just suppose everything is already at our area of interest. Let's do this. Boom. Boom. This is where I start running out of room. Oh, boom. All right, dope. We're at our area of interest. What do we do now? We just buy? Do we just boom? We click the buy button like fuck yeah? No, right? Like that's not it, because first things first, we don't have the time frames in sync. That's what I'm telling you. Just because we're at a support, we're at a resistance, the first thing we need is these time frames in sync. We need them to tell us where's the market going. Clearly, the market right now is on its way to somewhere where we're not looking to take the trade as of right now. So this is where exact same thing as when we shift the structure here. The first time frame, let's just do this for example's purposes. I'm trying the best. Okay, so this is where the first time frame to go bullish would be the 4 hour. So the 4 hour can do what USD CAD just did, which was do this, come into our area of interest, do a lower low, lower high, and then boom, have this break, right? This break is going to be the first confirmation that we are rejecting our area of interest. You guys are with me so far on that. The shift of the 4 hour at our area of interest is our first confirmation we are rejecting this area. So this on the daily literally looks like nothing. Looks like one of these candlesticks. I bet you guys see these a lot. That is a terrible example. Should do it with a black line. You see the doji, right? You guys don't see it, I can zoom in. But you guys see the doji, right? I can go back and show you guys an example like literally anywhere. Right here in GJ, let's say right here, we break above a resistance, we come down, retest, doji. Doji shows slowdown within that area. Could go on multiple examples right here. Let's say we have this level of resistance, break above, retest, doji. You guys are seeing that, right? That doji, I can almost guarantee you if I were to zoom in here on the 4 hour, we can, oh wow, that's the daily. Damn, it's not a great example. But let me see. Perfect. You see how it went bearish, and then you see the doji bullish, right? So if I were to go back here on the weekly, doji equals small body, long wick. Honestly, oh, bro, I don't even know how I slipped on this. Have you guys read the Candlestick Bible? I feel like a lot of people have read it. Yeah, I learned all of my candlesticks from the Candlestick Bible. If you guys haven't read it, I highly suggest you read it. And if you've read it, reread it. It's an easy book. Like you'll finish the book in nothing, like a day or two. Like if you really just do it, you can literally finish it super fast. If you haven't finished it, I highly suggest it. All of my entry signals and everything is from that book. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's posted in the educational section. Thank you for that. Okay, so this doji on the daily is going to be the shift on the 4 hour. So this is where the 4 hour is gonna have its little retracement, mess around here a little bit, and then, you know, create a higher high, confirming that it is bullish. But if you notice, where are we having this higher high? Let's see if anybody can guess where we're having this higher high. It's a little advanced. This is for next week, but where are we having this higher high level at? Oh, this guy sniped it, bro. You got it right on the money. Oh, somebody got it right on the money too. Where are we having this higher high? Yep. Exactly. At the previous daily lower low point. So this is where it went bullish. And if you notice this structure point right here, let's just make it a box for this example. This structure point is this structure point right here. You see how it zooms in from the daily to the 4 hour. So now we are at an area of resistance. Price can clearly come into this area and then have a rejection. So this is where the 4 hour can potentially go bearish again to come back into the area of interest. And this is where the daily can come back and now create a double bottom at our area of interest on the daily. You guys are with me so far? You're just seeing how we're like literally letting the market build on its own. Like the market is telling you everything, right? As of right now, we're still technically bearish. The 4 hour has now gone bearish again. Let's do this. I'm just explaining to you guys right now so you guys like understand it, like the different possible scenarios of markets and how to read it. Where are we? Because as of right now, we're not at the same spot as we were 10 minutes ago. We were in the middle of the move. Now, right now, we are exactly where we want to get in on the move. Now we are retesting our area of interest. Now, from this point forward is where comes the strategy and everything else that comes into it. Right now, I've just been explaining, educating you guys to understand where are we within the move, right? So this is where the daily would then have a rejection. The daily would then go bullish. So then this is where the 4 hour goes bullish as well. We'll do something like this, goes bullish, so on and so forth. The weekly looks like it's going to create a lower high, and then it just comes back and retraces. You guys get the pattern, right? You guys understand everything? I just wanted to explain to you guys and you guys understand what happens on the move to the area of interest and how to properly identify it. You guys get it good? You think we could go over now to the, yeah, that's why I say set and forget. Let's go. All right, perfect. All right, let's see. So you guys know where to do the move. So let's see. So yesterday's class, you guys remember how I explained we have these 3 time frames are bullish. Everybody's buying GJ at that point. But if you notice, where are we on the weekly time frame? Let me take this off. Exactly. Would you guys want to buy here right now where we are? Exactly. We are at a higher high. We need a higher low to go long. So this is where we go down. We go down and we put number 2. Need retest of area of interest. What is our area of interest? We will learn how to identify that next week, right? This week, I just want you guys to understand, are we ready? Are we at an area of interest? I don't want you guys to know how to do that yet, but we'll get to that, right? I mean, this week, I want you guys to learn where we are in the move. Next week, we'll identify those area of interest, right? So this is where we go down to the daily. Where are we on the daily? Same exact thing. Exactly. Higher high, right? So let's go with, actually, let's do it this level example. So where are we on the daily? Higher high. Same exact thing. As you can tell, I've had my line drawn out to where I was looking to buy. My area of interest was this structure point right here. Obviously, price hasn't made it there, so I simply do nothing. When we go down to the 4 hour, you can see how the 4 hour was still bullish, but was getting ready to go bearish. So let's actually find another pair that's a little bit better. Perfect example is Euro GBP. Euro GBP, yesterday's example, bullish, we're good to go, right? Where are we on the weekly? Exactly, correct. We're at a higher high. We need a higher low to buy, a higher low to buy. There's multiple different areas of interest. Like I said, we'll get into next week. This is where we go down to the daily because we know where we are on the weekly now. We know on the weekly now, we're at the top of the move. So we can't be buying the top of the move. We have to wait for the pullback in order to continue with the move, right? This is where we go down to the daily. And on the daily, you guys can see where are we right now on the move. This is a tricky one. Where are we? Are we at the top? Are we at the middle? Or are we at the spot to buy it? Let's see. Okay. Awesome. All right, cool. We're in the middle of the move because the top of the move would technically be that. not knowing when the retracement is going to happen, because this can keep going, keep going, keep going. Clearly, it's stopped and it started to pull back. So we're in the middle, or we're 25% in, 30% in, 40, whatever. But we're clearly having a pullback. Now we set different areas of interest. We could set this to be area of interest number 1, because it's the previous structure point, or we can put the weekly, whatever the case is, but that's not for right now. Right now is just to understand where we are within the move, right? So now when we go to the 4-hour, you guys can see how the 4-hour went from bearish to then bullish to now going bearish again. This is going to go bearish very soon. It's technically bearish. Watch, you guys are going to see this play out right now. So this is basically, watch, you guys are going to see this live. This is what I love about the live 30-day bootcamp, right? So this is the higher high. Higher high. And then this over here would be the higher low, right? As you guys can see, we have clearly body closed under the higher low, right? So what do we do now? Like what should the 4-hour do now? Take this off. Let's see. This is a little more advanced as well, but I just want to know what would it do now? Exactly. Now it's going to have its retest to then drop, because now the 4-hour is bearish, or it can just continue dropping here to our area of interest. So notice how this is the first move to go bearish. If you tell the daily is still bullish, the weekly is clearly still bullish. On the weekly, you can't even tell what's going on. On the daily, it's a little bit of noise. And on the 4-hour, you went completely bearish. If I go back over here to this example, where we are right now is literally right here. We have just gone bearish. On the daily, it looks like it's about to be the higher low to go up. If I go back on the daily, it looks like it's about to be the higher low to go up. You guys are seeing it? Is it clear now that we went over to the candlesticks? You guys are seeing live examples? Clear? Well, this is crazy simple. Exactly. Yeah, right now we're not worried about entries at all, man. Like right now we're just worried about where are we in the move. Before you get into the trade, we need to know before we get into the trade, are we getting in with a swing trading approach? Are we getting in with an intraday trading approach? Are we getting in with a day trading approach? Like my strategy works all around, because you know where you are within the move. If you're at the end of the move, you know to set a realistic small take profit. If you're at the beginning of the move, you better set and forget that shit for a while. Or if you're in the middle of the move, you know exactly more or less to get out, but you know where you are, right? Not a lot of people trade like this. Like this way, like, bro, I'm telling you, you become a master of the market because you can predict every single move because you know exactly where you are within it. Bro, I feel like this is illegal information. I've never. Hold on, let me take a picture of that shit. I can't make this up. Oh shit. Yeah, my first boot camp, I don't know if we have the OGs in here, but like, bro, my computer every once in a while, it would just like shut down on and off. And these guys were like, oh, the feds are fucking learning this shit. Nah, FBI at the door. Yeah. Yeah, so let me see. Let me actually move this to the right. Okay, yeah. So as of right now, we're just understanding where we are in the market. Are we in the middle? Are we in the beginning? Like, where the hell are we, right? So as of right now, we know Euro GBP, we're about 30% in, 40% in, somewhere within that median on our way to buy, right? We're not at the highest point. We're not ready to buy yet. And we're not trying to get in the middle. We're not trying to take that counter trend trade because all of this fuckery happens. You can go from bearish to then bullish, and all of that is happening just so it has the retracement. You guys are with me so far? Perfect. Okay. So USD CAD is a perfect example because everything that I just explained on GJ, which is everything going from bearish to then bullish, bearish to then bullish, is exactly what happened with USD CAD right now. So USD CAD right now, we are literally right here. We are at this point right here where we have just gone bearish. So none of this has happened yet. This is exactly what we're waiting to happen. Right now, we've just created a lower low. Right now, we have just created a lower low. Right now, we've just created a lower low at our area of interest. If we go over to USD CAD, You can tell one candlestick pull back to our area of interest. We go down to the daily time frame, and the daily time frame, we have just come into the area of interest, retesting the EMA. I'll get into the EMA later on in the following weeks. And then we go down to the 4 hour, and then the 4 hour has just created a new lower low. So if you can tell, we are bullish on the weekly, we're still bullish on the daily, and then the 4 hour is bearish. So now we need the 4 hour to go bullish, and now we have 3 time frames in sync, rejection from our entry signal, and now we keep it going on the next following confluences and everything else we need, right? So in order for us to take this trader to actually be interested in it, we would need for this. The moment we body close above this lower high, you're green, right? The probabilities of this trade going up are a lot greater versus going down. Everything right now we're doing is just painting the picture. So kind of like I explained, this was the higher high of the 4 hour. As you can see, the higher high. And then what happened? We started shifting, heading down, going bearish into our area of interest. Same thing with the daily. You guys are seeing how it's all making sense now. You guys are seeing how it's all clear. So now we know where we are in the move. Now we know we're at the juicy spot. We're exactly where we want to be. We're at our area of interest where we're looking to buy for the next push to the upside. On Euro GBP, let me go to Euro GBP. Euro GBP, we're basically right here. If we were to take this trade, we're basically right here, where it kind of looks like it could be retesting this structure point right here to have the next push up, but the ideal area of interest is right here, right? And that's where area of interest we get into next week. You see, Euro GBP, we're right in the middle. We're not at the full area we're looking to buy. You guys are seeing everything. You guys are with me. Does price always touch area of interest? Nah, bro. Like that, I just don't control that shit. You know, like I know that if price reaches the area of interest, I have my 3 time frames in sync and I have all of my confluences, I take the trade. That's it. I'm not here to care about anything else. I don't care if price touches it or not. I know if price does touch it and everything checks off, I take the trade. If it never touches it, doesn't check off, I don't take the trade. With a round psychological level, yeah, round psychological level will make sense in the next following weeks. Right now, it's just understanding where we are. Where are we in the top? Are we in the middle? So let's do this, right? I want to test you guys out just with my pairs, right? Because I'm going to give you guys homework right now. Where are we in this move right now? Are we at the top? Are we in the middle? Are we at the beginning? Or where are we? Where are we in this move? Okay, let me do this. How about now? Oh shit, boy, Carlos tripped out. Yeah, I just flipped the chart upside down because like I was showing you guys the examples in buys. So it's only fair like if I ask you guys this one in buys, right? But ideally sells. This is also like a little trick, a little gem. A lot of you guys may not know it or may know it, and you guys may be better at taking buy positions versus sell positions, which is such a huge psychological barrier, but it's the truth. If you guys do find yourself having those issues and you're not able to chart up a chart good, and let's say you're better at buys or at sells or whatever, just flip the chart. Literally just flip it and you see it so much better. Like this right now looks a lot cleaner for buys versus this for sells, right? Is it just me? Thanks on the bro. What the fuck? Yeah. All right. So where are we right now? Are we at the top of the move? Are we in the middle? Or are we about to have the beginning to have the push to the upside based off of the weekly time frame? Okay. So, okay, perfect. I don't blame any of your guys' answers due to the fact that I have not taught you guys the area of interest yet. I just want to see where you guys kind of are. When I get a feel and understanding kind of like the speed, which the majority of you guys are partially right. So technically right now we are at a market structure, technically, but also known as a higher high, right? We're at a high structure point, which you would need this pullback to buy, right? So let's go down to the daily. Where are we in the daily? Are we at the top? Are we 20%? Are we 30%? Are we ready to buy? Okay. Oh, Max got it on the money. Okay, Carlos too. Yeah, perfect. All right, so we're technically at the top, but we're also technically 10, 20, 30% into the trade due to the fact that you're seeing a retracement already. If you were to be like this, I would definitely say the top for sure, because we don't know if this is going to keep pushing up. As of right now, you could see that we're already having some type of retracement, whether it be to this area of interest or this one, whatever the case is, right? So now we go down to the 4 hour. Where are we in the 4 hour? Okay. Okay, perfect. On the money, yeah. So we're around the middle because we're not at the top, we're not at the bottom, or we're not at the area of interest. We're literally right in the middle. And this is where people go crazy because then right here they'll buy or they'll sell. And I'm just like, bro, why? Like, dude, like, do you know where we are? Like, we're literally like nowhere near the right area to take the trade, right? And there's, bro, I'm telling you, like, there's so much more that goes into it. It's like entries, EMAs, stop loss. Like, there's so much more, right? So the first things first is just knowing where we are. Are we in the middle? Are we at the top? Or are we at the bottom? Right now, we're literally at the top of a move. We're at the top of the weekly time frame, so you can't buy at the top. We're 20% into the top of the daily. So let me do this, right? So if everything is bullish, this is at the top. Daily is about 20% into the pullback. So let's do 20% into the pullback. And then the 4 hour is in the middle. So what the hell are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're literally just like hurting your psychology. You're just damaging everything, right? Yes, we could have all of these time frames in sync, but if we're not in the right area to buy, this is not the right trade, right? Guys, got to remember this is to the downside. So if you guys are having trouble identifying sells, make sure to flip the chart around. Best investment of my life. Appreciate it, bro. Trust me, I'm getting better as I go. Probably the next boot camp, I'll do this shit maybe in 2 weeks or whatever. But like it gets for sure gets easier as it goes, right? So let's take this off. So you guys understand now how to read the market, right? Let's do this. Do you guys now understand how to read it? Is it clear? Is it a lot simpler? All we're doing right now is just learning how to read the market. The back click. So the area of interest we'll get into next week. Yeah. Yeah, you can literally never find this anywhere else. And like, I can't put this shit on YouTube because like it'll take forever to explain. I don't want to do like an hour-long YouTube video. The majority of the people just won't watch it. And I just won't put this type of thing on YouTube. Like this took me way too long to learn, lost so much money. Like there's just no shot. I've never seen anybody do this. I learned from somebody like one-on-one for like 6 months. So let me show you guys another example. Another example, we know where your GBP is. We know where GJ is. Let's see NZD CAD. This one's like super tricky. I don't even think I'm going to do this to you guys. So your GBP, USD CAD, you know where it is, 4 hour, weekly. All right. Now I have a question. Do you think you guys are ready to go into your guys' groups and bring me back a pair other than these pairs, right? So I want you guys to go into your groups. If you guys aren't in the groups, you guys should be shortly. These guys should have sent you guys the invitation already. I want you guys to go into the groups and I want you to find me one pair that is ready to go, just how USD CAD is. So it could be anything. It could be any single pair. It could be the Mexican peso. It doesn't matter. Just a pair that has timeframes in sync and we are at an area of interest, because I want to see what you guys identify as an area of interest. And then I want you guys to find me a pair that we're at the top or that we're at the bottom. Literally a pair that is before all of this red drawing, before all of this. Literally like this. Find me a pair that is at the top, the top, the top, the top, the top. You guys understand that? Does that make sense? Name the pairs you did. So I these are the pairs that I did. So you guys can screenshot them. So you guys make sure you guys don't copy these because it's what we already did. Are the instructions clear? Do you guys get it? Is it complicated? Do you guys have any questions? So after here, please go into your groups, WhatsApp, text messages, whatever you guys want. Email each other. I sent you guys, every single one, an email with you guys' name and the email. We have to mark it up as a group. Yes, I highly recommend you guys get on a Zoom. One of you guys drops the Zoom, just chop it up, get to know each other. Trust me, you guys want to be talking to other people, because then some of you guys, like I explain it one way, somebody understands it good, and then maybe somebody else is a little bit difficulty, and then when somebody else explains it, they get better, but everybody's learning the same. So I feel like you guys should be, getting back and forth from each other. Good. This is fire. Okay, so just to retouch on the homework, I want you guys to go into your groups, find me a pair like USD CAD that is ready to go, ready to buy, ready to take the trade, or at the area of interest that you'd be looking to write. Because as you can tell right here, we're not in the middle of the move anymore. We're at the point where we've waited this amount of time to then have the move. And then the second one would be find me a pair that is basically like this, that is at the highest point of the move, and what you need in order to take the trade. So in this case, I would need this price to come back to here to then buy, because I want to get to know where you guys have, like how you guys identify your area of interest, to see how I approach it in the next upcoming weeks. But I just want to make sure you guys have all of this perfect. Let me stop the recording.